Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's episode 233 of the Audible Farm podcast, and this episode is brought to you by the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association. Go to www.fdfineartsassociation.org, check out their website, go to that community calendar and find out some of those events that they help coordinate. And, that's one of the funnest things about them is the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association does a lot of behind the scenes stuff for a lot of companies, a lot of nonprofits, and it's just a great cause for everybody in the community to kind of get better results out of everything that has anything to do with art. So check it out. It's a really cool organization. Find their website. I got a link down below. And don't forget to check out FDT, their podcast. It comes out once a month. You can find a lot of it right here on Audible Farm. So check it out. This week I'm sitting down with Love Bomb. This episode is going to be great. Love Bomb is basically like a band of high school-ish aged kids. I don't even know if you want to call them kids. It's so fun to watch them go out there and do what they're doing, and it's fun because I think a lot of us were in their shoes at one point in time, and that's what makes it so relatable to us. Is we were all young, hungry musicians at one point in time, and it's really fun that they're out there playing music that a lot of us grew up listening to. So I think that's one of the funnest things about it. This episode is hilarious. That's all I got to say. I get straight up roasted in this episode because I'm an old man, and it's hilarious because I remember being their age thinking people my age were old men. So, that's just karma. That's karma is what that is. So, enjoy this one. It's going to be so fun. We get to know all three members of Love Bomb. It's Sam, Jaxton, and Trice, I believe. So, yes, that is correct. I don't know why I said I believe. But yeah, this one's really good. They just kind of talk about all the things music that they enjoy, how they got to where they're at, what they love, what they hate, favorite gas stations, side jobs, video game consoles they enjoy. I mean, it's all over the map, and that's what I love about this episode. Go check this episode out, and when you're done, go check out Love Bomb live somewhere. Enjoy it. This is episode 233 with Love Bomb.
It's the Audible Farm Podcast with your host, Peter Stockdale.
Hey, Audible Farm Podcast. We're sitting down with Love Bomb today. Love Bomb, what's up, guys?
Yeah, what's going on?
What up?
Hey.
Hey.
There we go. All right, yeah, we got Sam, Jaxton, and Trice in here. So I just got to ask, like, it's weird to me that you guys play music that I grew up listening to when I was your age. It's also weird that I still kind of feel like I am your age, and then you guys come along and I'm like, I'm 20 years older than you guys. So enjoy it while it's here, but at the same time, like, what drew you guys to playing like older music, I guess, to you guys? Because that'd be like me growing up playing like 80s music, basically, or something like that. So what's the deal?
Well, I know I personally have just like grown up with this kind of music. Like my parents have listened to it, and so it just kind of rubbed off on me. Oh. And so I don't know. It's just music I've always loved. Like since I was even a little kid, and I was listening to Green Day and like I don't know, just all those bands.
Way to make me feel older. Like your parents are my age. Yeah. That's wild. Oh gosh, that's crazy. So yeah, I might have a little bit of emotional development to do. It sounds like. How about you guys? What drew you guys to this music?
Well, pretty much the same thing as him. Like my dad always listened to stuff like that, and I don't know. It just I like the music.
Yeah. You just went along with what they did, or did your parents listen to it too?
My parents had me grow up on a lot of like 70s through 90s music, and then I decided to explore beyond that a little bit, and that's how I found out about a lot of the music that we play.
Nice. So like, let's kind of just go around the table here. Like, what do you play in the band? Let me ask you that. So we'll start down here.
Well, I play the bass and the guitar because Trice and I switch off, and then I sing.
And then I play drum set.
And I do pretty much the same thing as Sam, where I play guitar and bass, and we switch off like halfway through the show, and then like halfway, and then we do it again where we like switch back.
Yeah.
And we both take turns singing, just whatever songs we want to sing. So
is that like you guys? Let me ask you this: so if you're gonna choose a song, I'm gonna ask you guys how you choose the songs. But do you like you're just like I want to play and sing this song, so I'm going to play and sing it on this instrument, or like how do you guys choose who's gonna play what?
well, Sam can go a little bit lower than I can. So if it's a lower like vocal song, then I'll usually let him sing it. Or like if he knows a song better than I do, then we'll be like, yeah, you can sing it.
Okay.
Or whatever. And then it's kind of just like it depends on how tough the bass part is. Because if the bass part's like really hard, then you can't really like play bass and sing. So
Yeah.
it's like
Or with like the guitar part. Like there's sometimes times where like Trice brings up a song and he's like, I'd rather play guitar for this, but this guitar part's like way harder.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Everything.
Yeah.
You just agree with what they said.
Sounds about right.
All right. So how did you guys come together as a band? Did you guys like realize y'all like listening to the same types of music and y'all got instruments for Christmas, or like how did this all work out?
Well, so me and Sam had been playing guitar for a while, before we even knew each other, really. And so we just kind of knew we wanted to start a band for a while. And so we went to an Evan Pratt show one summer, and we like hung out with him, and he was like, "You guys should come to me to this like jam night up in Barnum." And we're like, "Okay, yeah, let's do it." So me and Sam, we brought a couple guitars, and we brought this like small like toy bass that my little brother got that was like made for his hands.
Oh yeah, I remember. It's like a 3/4 scale bass.
Yeah,
It's
it was like-
it's
The
like
like dinky like red one.
yeah.
Yeah, so we grabbed that and grabbed our guitars and stuff and went up with Pratt. And we just played some music up there, and it was awesome. And we were just like, yeah, this is something we want to do. And so we went to that for a while with just the three of us.
Well, the first one was just you two, and then you guys were like, "Yo, we want to play guitar. We need somebody to play bass." And then you guys, I knew how to play guitar somewhat, so I played bass for like one Barnum night. Then you guys were like, "Okay, maybe a drummer's a little more important."
Because we had kind of swapped out a whole bunch of our friends to like try to get us to play like just to get like different people to come with to like see what kind of worked. And yeah, eventually we just like told him like, yeah, you should play drums this time, and it just kind of clicked. It just made sense.
I had to like learn drums like on the spot. Like I'd really only learned from like I played Rock Band drums a bunch, but like
Okay.
other than that, I've basically been playing drums for as long as Love Bomb's been a thing.
That's wild. So like rock band drums is, I guess, good enough experience to kind of at least get you started on regular
Yeah,
drums.
something like that. We weren't playing too hard of songs at first, but
Well, still though, I mean, like, I would definitely have to say that the drums are like the least interchangeable of all the instruments. Like, if you can play guitars, like you can kind of play the bass. I get it. Like a good bassist, that's the different story. But like, you know, it's not like somebody's just like, well, I can play the guitar. It's like, all right, hop back on the drum set. It's not like it's just like, oh yeah, I could do this.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it's just not. It doesn't just translate well. I mean, you could even argue like banjo or mandolin or ukulele could be like slightly in the same realm as a guitar because it's just a stringed instrument, but. I couldn't imagine trying to like I don't know, if I was growing up and just like learning a guitar and someone's like, hey, play the drums instead, I'd be like, what?
this isn't fair.
No kid, I gotta drag all this stuff everywhere.
Well, and then I had only gotten to play the drums at Barnum first, which you know how the Barnum set was.
Yeah.
And then we had found like this like horrible like $100 drum set at this garage sale, and we got Trice's parents to buy it, and that's just what we started off using.
It was really bad.
It was
a
bad.
terrible set.
Well, you gotta start somewhere, and I also feel like it's easier. Like you can spend a couple $100, get a guitar, get an amp. It'll work fine for what you need it to do.
Drums are just like so expensive.
Yeah,
to
like-
get like good ones.
Yeah, I mean, like the cheapest, junkiest drum sets, like you said, are like $100, $200, you know, and it's like you're kind of getting what you pay for it. The cymbals just sound like
The
some
cymbal was like all like wavy and stuff. It was like you could tell this was like 30 years old. And
That's funny.
It was awful.
Yeah, they just don't sound the best. That's funny. All right, so let me go down the list here. Is there like a specific band that you think influences you guys, like individually?
Definitely Blink 182.
All right.
I think that probably goes for
Definitely.
all of us.
Yeah, that goes for all of us.
Why is it Blink?
I don't know. We just kind of. I started really getting into Blink like around when Love Bomb started, and I think like we all just kind of started getting into Blink around when Love Bomb started. So a lot of the jokes we make during like our shows or like the music we play a lot of Blink 182, and it's just like just because we associate that with Love Bomb because we started listening to it like like really listening to it once we started.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I always kind of like, when I was your guys' age, I just loved watching, and I don't know if you've ever seen any of these. Most punk bands had like DVDs where it's like, here's a concert, and then on the second DVD, you guys don't even know what DVDs are, and then on the second DVD, it was like, you pop that baby in, and it's just like home video footage of them just like doing goofy stuff, like walking around town, like taking pizza from a pizza delivery guy or something. Like, it's just dumb stuff they would do that they thought was funny at the time. It's like, yeah, I'm an adolescent, that's hilarious, I'm gonna go to the 7-Eleven and drink a Slurpee just right out of the faucet, you know, or like whatever they were doing. I don't know, like, have you ever seen anything like, because I know Blink did a lot of that kind of
Yeah,
stuff
well,
too.
I don't pop in the DVD, but I like I'll see it on YouTube once in a
Oh,
while.
yeah,
and I'll
YouTube
be like,
exists.
I'll be like, yeah, this is awesome, and I'll like lay there in bed at like 3 a.m. and I'm like, dude, I got school tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this Blink 182, like,
That's funny. Just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go into the Quick Star real quick and take a drink right out of the fountain. I don't
Dude,
even know
we
if they have
love
drinking
Quick Star. We go there all the time.
New Quick Star.
dude, it's like he just got his full license, and we're like, this is a game changer. Like, we can go to Quick Star whenever we want.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Not to start up the Quick Star versus Casey's debate that the Pork Tornadoes, like, that's a band that like they just kind of started a random debate about the two, and it kind of blew the internet up a little bit because, like, I don't know, Casey's pizza, yes. Quick Star, everything else.
Everything else, yeah.
I mean, like, the only thing I would say about Quick Star is like their drink selection might not be my favorite. I mean, they have a lot of stuff to drink, but like, I would say take out like 30 of the flavors of Faygo and put in
Yeah,
like,
they have so many.
put in something else, you know.
Yeah.
Or like get rid of some of the gross Liquid Death. I don't know. Liquid Death is good. Not a sponsor though, so don't go buy it.
Don't go buy. Well, I think they have a lot. Quick Star's bigger, and like a lot. Like, Casey's pizza is good, but like Quick Star's any other hot food is probably better.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
their chicken.
Like their chicken
chicken's so good.
sandwiches, dude.
It is so good.
So good.
It like they have no right to make like chicken sandwiches that taste that good, or like a rotisserie chicken and it's like comparable priced. Like,
it's
what are we
like-
talking about?
It's like comparable to like KFC, even though it's like from a gas station. It's
Yeah.
like, this is
That's
ridiculous.
hilarious. I mean, don't get me started on like their, you know, the bakery food too, because like I'll eat their donuts.
Their
or,
donuts. They're so good.
cinnamon rolls, whatever it happens to be. Oh my gosh, we're off on a tangent here. So you guys are Love Bomb. You like Quick Star. So Quick Star, if you want to sponsor somebody, this is the band to sponsor.
You know those guys who played in the Denny's? We should
Oh,
play in a
dude.
Quick Star.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, they played at the Denny's. There was like another one that played in like a Waffle House. They had like a Waffle House tour.
I saw one that played like right outside of Taco Bell. It was awesome.
You guys ever thought about doing like I want to say like a Renegade kind of just pop up show like that somewhere?
Oh,
like,
dude, we'd absolutely do it. If given the chance, we'd go.
We like if Taco Bell was like, hey guys, if you want to play in the parking lot this summer, like go for it. We would definitely do it.
Yeah, I mean that's you definitely have to do a little bit of research ahead of time. So like, here's an example. There's a stage down at Sheldon Park here in Humboldt, and when I was like younger, we had a punk band, and we just like went onto the stage and started playing music, because why not? And then before you know it, there's like 100 kids down there, and we don't have like a permit to gather or like nothing for
Or
noise
to
ordinance.
play on that stage.
We have nothing. So the cops come down. They're like, yeah, you don't have any permits. Take off, and we had to like take off. But
We should
like,
do that at the band show.
So,
the
like-
Olsen Park band show.
yeah, I mean, if you want to meet the cops in town, go for it. Maybe go through a couple, you know, the legalities and paperwork behind it. But
Whatever, team.
What a snooze fest.
what a snooze fest. No, it's funny. So like, there's some things I see like in you guys that it reminds me of being your age, because like I was in a punk band growing up, and it's, I don't know, it's just kind of fun to like see you guys out there doing it, and see you guys like having grown since, you know, that Barnum Jam, like when you guys would first start going to those, and how far you've come to like, I think maybe one of your first shows at Bootleggers I was at, and that was like really cool. So like, what's the difference to you guys from going from like playing in a basement to going to a Barnum Jam to like playing live? Like, is there like, what's...
I think there's really not much of a difference between us practicing in Trice's room and us playing a live show.
Yeah, we kind of just like, we goof off either way. So it's like,
It's the same environment. There's just like no other people in Trice's room.
Okay, all right.
yeah, it's basically just like practice in front of however many people are in the room. Of course, it's like structured a little bit, but
Yeah. When we're practicing, we just have like a playlist and we just like press shuffle and we're like, whatever comes up, we're gonna practice.
Oh, you just play along to it when it comes on the playlist? Oh, that's awesome. I remember doing that when I was growing up. But we had CDs. You had to burn
Saying
CDs.
your
and bring-
8-track.
Yeah, 8-track, yeah. You had to have a record player, get a new needle, No. So have there been any like big challenges as far as like going to playing live shows? Like how, because you guys have talked about having, I don't want to say like junky gear, but like gear that's not like, you know, it's beginner's gear. So like going from that to like, maybe have you guys had to upgrade gear, or when you went to your first show where you like, I need a PA, or a cat just came in the frame. So that's kind of cool.
Kind of, yeah. Like our first couple shows, we were like, "Hey, Clint, do you have like a show tonight? We need to borrow a PA." But eventually, we like realized we're like, okay, we need a PA. We got like a PA, and we got like an actually like okay drum set, and now we owe Trice's parents like $1 million. So it's like every bootlegger show, we like pay them back like $200, and we're still like scratching the surface.
Yeah, we're slowly paying it
slowly.
off,
Well, I mean, that's just kind of what it is. That's like the tough thing. I'm gonna chase this cat out of here, but that's kind of like what it is though. So like when you play your first couple shows, it's like you only have so much money. So like here's an example. There's like 2 kind of junky speakers over there that are just tucked away because I don't use them anymore. But like when I needed to play a show, I needed some speakers, and I'm not gonna go buy high-end speakers to go play like my first show. I just needed something, so I bought those. And it's like you have to start kind of minimal or borrow something from somebody and then work your way up to it, you know. And it takes a long time to kind of either, you know, like you said, you have to take a loan out in theory, or you have to, you know, play enough shows where it's like I've saved enough money from playing these shows to do this, you know.
Saving money. Who does this guy think we are?
The gear thing has always been something that was weird. Like I guess I was lucky enough where I don't know. I always just found like cheap stuff, or I kind of like went through the gear market to try and find like, okay, these are some things that are like kind of good, and I might be able to find one used, and you know, then you have to like be okay with having like used gear. I don't know if any of you guys, do you guys have any experience with used gear? I mean, like I'm just assuming the drums are probably used, you know, like that's no, you got new drums.
we got them new.
Yeah.
They're lower end, but yeah, we got them new.
I think back when
you got
we
your guitar
first started, I was taking lessons from Jeremy Ober, and I told him that I was trying to start a band, and this was like way before Love Bomb, and he gave me some of his like old junky PAs because he had just gotten brand new ones. And when it was finally time for us to play a show, we tried to use them, and like one of them didn't work, and the other one was like,
oh, that was at Sneakers, huh?
yeah, it was at the first time we played
we
Sneakers.
ever played Sneakers, yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that's.
I was talking about your white guitar. You got it from the pawn shop.
Oh yeah, I got a white guitar from the pawn shop too, that I put stickers on it so it says "fuck."
Oh gosh. Oh yeah. I've seen that. I don't know if you guys can. I hope the cat's not audibly meowing outside the door. I can hear it for sure. So if you can hear it in the podcast, I apologize. Just trust me. Nobody's harming a cat in the other room.
Look at how many DCs he has.
Oh yeah, I definitely got a few pairs of DC shoes over there.
Got mine on right now.
He's got
brand
his on
new.
right now.
Nice. I don't wear them because they're not comfortable. I
I wear them because they're cool.
Oh, that's what I used to buy them for, like style and stuff, and then eventually I got old and was like, I'm not gonna wear these. So like, the trick with that, I don't know. I found a lot of fun tricks. Like I said, with like guitar gear, it's like I want one of these guitars, and then you're like, what guitars are similar or dissimilar? Then you can kind of find one that's like older. Like there's like a PV guitar over there that's like I've always kind of wanted one of these, but if you go find a really nice one, it's like $600-700. But if you kind of find a junky one, it's maybe like $200. So I bought a junky one and fixed it, and there you go. So like that's kind of how I went with like the shoes. I always just go when a new line of shoes comes out, just go buy the old line and hope they have your size, and it's like half the price. So I don't know. I've always kind of been thrifty, I guess, with a lot of my stuff, where it's like you know, Black Friday sales and things like that, you know. Again, that takes saving money, but let me ask you this. This is something else. When I was your guys' age, we played some shows, but nothing like going to bars and playing shows. I think the coolest show we had was we did a pool party at a swimming pool, which was pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we threw everybody in the pool like after the show, like fully clothed, ruined a lot of cell phones because they were just like new at the time. So like, because I'm old. And, you know, so everyone's like got their flip phone and it like gets fried in the water or whatever. But
This was in black and white too.
it was, yeah, there's video footage of it. God damn it. Yeah. So like it was pretty fun. That was a fun show. But like we never played at like bars and did things like that, or we only ever had like maybe 1 or 2 invites extended to us to play shows. But at that time, like a lot of the bands we knew were playing original rock, and there's this weird thing where like some places where they just do original music, they don't really want covers in there and things like that. And I mean, that all has to do with, ASCAP and BMI and those like companies that are trying to go into bars and make them pay money to an organization for playing live music so they can pay out Tom Petty's estate for, give him a nickel because you played, Free Fallin' or something like that. That's kind of how that all works. But like, so it makes me think like when I was your guys' age, it's not like you're rolling in the money playing live shows, but it's like you can make your hard work is paying off. And that's kind of a weird thing, because I've never actually had to deal with any of that. And, you guys like are learning how to be businessmen, like in a sense. I mean, like you don't really think about
Something
it,
like
but,
that, yeah.
Yeah. So like, is it odd to you guys? Like, have you ever had jobs before this?
Yeah. I don't think he has. I think he's the only one here who hasn't had a job.
We had like summer jobs. So like I worked at the pool in concessions to like whiny little kids.
Oh yeah.
And then I worked out at a lakeside golf course with all these angry old men.
Okay.
They're just trying to get some holes in.
Yeah, we worked for like $9.50, and like I got into the pool for free, and I was like, "This is a steal."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, at your guys' age, the swimming pool, like anything at the pool was pretty cool. Like up until I don't know. There is definitely a cutoff where it's like I probably shouldn't go to the pool anymore. But was it weird when you started making money doing something else? Because like again, I mean like. We do have to clarify. We're not getting paid like thousands of dollars to play shows.
No.
Maybe a couple $100 pitched to you here and there. But is it weird when you're like at the end of the show? It's like, all right, we each get, we have to pay off this much to our PA, and then we each get, a slice of pie here, $50 or whatever, 100, whatever it is. Like, is it weird to you guys to do that? Like,
yeah, kind of. I don't know. I feel like I keep answering when you guys can answer.
I don't know. It feels nice because I feel like. Well, because at my age, I'm not making like a whole bunch of money. So if we're getting paid like $100 or $200 from a show, it's like I feel like a millionaire. I feel like I could go out and just like spend it all. But I don't know. It's just really hard to just not go and spend it all immediately because it's like it's so foreign to me to get like paid for doing stuff that I like. So I don't know. It's really cool, but it's also like. It's definitely a big risk for us at like such a young age to like be getting money, because then we go out and buy like a kayak, and then it's like, well, what do we do with a kayak?
Remember when you bought that tent and we used it like once?
Yeah, we bought a tent and we camped out in my backyard a couple of times, and it just cause.
Oh yeah, why not? I mean, like, what are you going to do with a kayak? What aren't you going to do with a kayak?
That's true.
It makes me think of that '70s show. Have you ever heard of that show?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so like when I was your guys' age, that show came out, and now there's that '90s show because it's the same age difference. So like, there was a guy on there, Kelso. Somebody bought a kayak, and Kitty, the main character lady in the show, didn't want it in her house. She was like, "Get this thing out of the house." So Kelso takes this kayak and he's going to kayak down a hill, and like that's what you could do with it, like whatever. It doesn't work, obviously, but yeah, there you go. So like, what can you do with a kayak? Anything you want to.
Or like urban kayaking and Jackass, where they like go in like the fountains and like go down stuff.
Dude, that's so awesome.
We should not be getting the money that we do because we don't use it on useful stuff. Like we'll drop like $50 on like some Bart Simpson prank call phone that you like press like the numbers on it and like calls Moe's Tavern. It's like, is there a Seymour Butts?
True story, that did happen.
That did happen. We have it in his basement.
Oh man, so if you guys ever, I mean, like, we need to tie this into something because like you guys could do a music video and have like all this stuff kind of just in it nonsensically, and it would be absolutely hilarious.
That'd be pretty sweet.
That's yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Do you guys write your own music? I swear I've heard you play an original song maybe a couple times.
We have a couple. We're actually going in to Jared Harp's next weekend.
Oh, cool.
Well, because this is like kind of a sidetrack, but we're doing short film for like our speech, like school speech thing, and we decided we wanted to do a music video for it. So we like wrote a song, and then we're gonna record it, and then we're gonna do the music video as like a home video, like with like our short film group, and then we're gonna have it go there.
Dude, that's awesome.
So it's like killing two birds with one stone, because it's like you get music out, and you get the music video, and you get to do it with speech.
Dude, that's so cool.
So we'll be able to like take it to like there are like competitions for speech. We're gonna be able to like show it to judges and stuff, and like it'll be like paired up against like other films, like
my phone.
And it's gonna be really cool. So
that's crazy. Again, more productive than we ever were. Like the coolest thing I had when I was your guys' age was like a website. like, whoa, whatever. Now everybody.
we're not smart enough for that.
Oh, come on, anybody can do it. Yeah, I mean, you guys do have social media and stuff, so at least you're going those routes. Which, if you guys want to look for it, the social media is in the description. Everybody click all the links and click follow and subscribe, and then invite everyone you know, and then just send it out.
Send
in a
it
text
to like
message.
your grandma, like all your everybody.
Grandma, you would
Everybody
love this band.
Grandma, you would love Bomb.
Oh my gosh, they're amazing. There's a band called Love Bomb. What is that? So let me ask you this: what are people's reactions when they see you guys playing like early 2000, late 90s pop punk songs and like some alt rock stuff and like Weezer and Blink 182 and stuff?
Weezer.
I don't know. They're usually surprised at our age that we like know a lot of these songs. But a lot of times at our shows, they'll like say like, "Hey, can you play, I don't know, just some random song from like Scotty doesn't know or something," and then we'll just like learn it on the spot and play it. And they always think it's so cool that we just like know these songs from like when like from their younger days, that like wasn't really around in like our.
He did not like that one.
Which wasn't really around in our lifespan, like well, like at the beginning, like
making him seem older.
Yeah,
and older
I'm
too.
sorry.
This is bad.
It's like while the other kids were listening to like Bruno Mars and Taylor Swift, we were listening to Blink 182 and Weezer.
Well, I think you made the right choice. Nothing against T Swift, Bruno Mars, or like.
Well, we still play T Swift, but
Oh, of course.
True.
Yeah, I mean, you play Britney Spears, too, which is pretty awesome. So it's not like you're just limiting yourselves to only the punk stuff, which is hilarious that you'll play a Britney Spears song from, like, the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. I don't know. It's just wild. You guys are making me feel very old. Thank you for that. Like,
well, we just like to like appeal to like we like to try to appeal to like all the crowds. Like even if like there's just like some random people that like aren't at bootleggers to like come see us. Like we still want to play something that they might know and like might like.
Ah, true. So like that would probably be a good. So when I was your guys' age, I was playing the songs you guys were playing, and the problem with that was like it was only entertaining to like teenage kids. If you go to a bar and play it, nobody that's older wants to listen to Newfound Glory or whatever it is, which I'll listen to a lot of Newfound Glory either way. So nowadays, like you said, it's basically just classic music. Everyone knows, Damn It by Blink 182. Everybody knows it. Even if you don't know, you know it. Go turn it on right now. Actually, don't turn it on right now. Keep listening. But you know the song.
After this, listen.
After this is over. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really funny. So it's also funny to me that, like, here's an example. I had posted this on social media a while back. So I went into a gas station and somebody was just like, they were asked a question and said, "Oh, yeah, always." Like that song by that Blink 183 band, and I was like, oh god. And then he started singing the song "Always" by Saliva. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
Yeah.
So like I'm old enough now that like Blink 182 and Saliva are now just the same genre and the same era, and like people can't draw a line between them, and it's like, oh god,
This is awful.
this is horrible. And the person was maybe like 5 years older than you guys, so it's like, gosh, still made me feel old, but it's really funny. So I don't know. So we talked about the most challenging parts. Like, what have been some of the most rewarding parts of playing music live? I mean, obviously getting $5 in your pocket's pretty nice, but other than that,
I feel like we've met a lot of people from doing this. We've met so many really cool
Like you.
people. Yeah,
Like-
we met you and Clint and Jeremy Ober. Well, I think Sam knew Jeremy Ober before, but we all met him through that. And like Jared Harp and stuff, just like all these really cool people we've met because we've like played shows with them, or they've like come to our shows and we just see them so much that we start to remember their face. And like, it's just, I don't know, it's just a really cool way to connect with the community in a way that we never really had before. And it's just, it's awesome.
how about you?
It's just like we just meet so many new people. Like when I was like, before I was in Love Bomb, I just kind of like all summer I would just like sit in my room and like play Fortnite and do whatever. But now it's like this summer, it's like every weekend we would have like at least one show where we were going out and we were playing on the fairgrounds, or we were playing at bootleggers, we were playing here and here, and it's like this is so much more fun than anything else I would be doing.
Oh yeah.
I think it's definitely got to be all the amazing people that we meet, not to like copy those two.
That's all you've been doing this whole shit. No, I'm just kidding. No.
It's been like people that we already know, like Evan Pratt from school, and like I already knew Jeremy Ober, but just all the other amazing people we met, and I guess it's also pretty cool. The ladies think it's cool that you're in a band.
Yeah, I mean,
Some of them.
yeah, that's there's definitely that caveat. Some of them think it's cool. Some of them do not think it's cool.
Some of them do not.
Oh, you're in a band, So there's definitely two different types of you're in a band.
Well, I think it's also just like some people like around school, like even if like I'm not like super big friends with them, like they'll like somewhat recognize like, oh, that guy's.
Oh, you're the guy that's in the band, you know?
Like they won't come up and talk to me because they'll probably think I'm weird. But
That also kind of happens while we're like walking around Fort Dodge or something, especially when there's like more than one of us together. They'll like kind of like recognize like, hey, that's Love Bomb. Like,
we were
like,
at
I know-
Walmart the other day and we saw Brad Hofing and he was like, "What up, guys?" And
Yeah.
It's just like it's just cool to see people around because it's like I would have never noticed his face before.
Brad Hofing, see, he does exist. It's been a running joke on this podcast for literally 200 plus episodes that Brad Hofing is
He's
maybe
not real.
or maybe not a real person. And yes, he does exist. It's really funny though when you think about that. Like, it's not like you're like famous, but you're you know in
It's
a
just
sense.
like local fame.
Yeah, you're in the public's eye in some sense. You know, it's you've been to a place where people have seen you do a thing. You know, and like I will even say this: like there was one time I was downtown in Fort Dodge. I think I was leaving work maybe, and I saw two of you guys. I can't remember. I think it was you two maybe, like downtown somewhere. But you were like 2 blocks away, and I was just like Love Bob, and you guys were just like. Like just stopped and like didn't even turn around because I was way behind you. But like when you're downtown Fort Dodge and someone's just yelling, you're like, "What the
Oh,
crap's
okay.
going on?" You know. So like I was just like, "Oh, Love Bob," and you guys were like, "What?" And I was like, I'm not gonna like chase them down or anything, but I know those guys, you know, whatever. So
Just like running at us. Like, I would never be scared if somebody just like ran at me in the middle of the night at downtown Fort Dodge.
oh, hilarious. Yeah, it is kind of crazy though too. Like I would never have imagined like having like grown up in a town and now just being like I'm at the places. Like I mean, you're not old enough to go into a bar, but you're old enough to perform in a bar. So that's like one of those other weird things where like most of the time when you guys are done, you guys have to just like pack your stuff up and leave, even if you're just like an opening band for another band. Is that like? It seems weird, I guess, but to you it probably just seems normal.
Well, honestly, that doesn't really happen. Like Nate lets us come in like to watch Evan Pratt and like Jeremy Ober. Like we come in and watch them sometimes, and like he isn't gonna kick us out because he knows like we're not gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, 1 beer, please." Like,
Yeah.
No, sorry. The only time that I think that's really happened for us was when we went and watched More Cheese and like all of them perform at Lefties because they have it's like any minors can't be in there past 9 o'clock. So
Yeah,
like
that's a city ordinance in Des Moines.
yeah,
Yes.
and so like as soon as it was done, they were like, all right, you guys
yeah,
have to leave.
you guys gotta go. And he was like,
That kind of sucked because we weren't really able to like talk to them and be like, yeah, that was awesome, you know. But it was
It was
whatever.
still cool to watch him.
Yeah, it was still cool, and it's a cool establishment and everything.
Oh yeah, Lefties is really cool. I mean, that's actually looked into that, and they've tried to change it a few times. So like in Des Moines, there's like a city ordinance where if you have a bar that doesn't serve X amount % food, like you have like a curfew there. So like there's some live music establishments that are like 50-50 food and bar that can kind of get away with having people in there underage past a certain time because they could ostensibly be in there enjoying music and eating food. But I don't know. It's just like a city ordinance thing, I'm pretty sure. I looked at it once, and after everybody argued about it a bunch and nothing happened, I quit caring because that's just kind of how it works. But yeah, I mean, that's got to be weird, though, too. Like, you go to places and you're just like, can I be here? Like, am I allowed to be here? Like, there's a bunch of old people here, you know, doing old people stuff, whatever. And I don't know. You guys, like... The other thing is, like, you guys are, from what I can tell, like, pretty good kids, you know? Like, when I was your age, it's not like I was a bad kid, but I definitely had, like I told you, we did some weird stuff, like doing a pop-up show we shouldn't have done, and we had you got to meet, you know, Humboldt County's finest, and it was a little bit something. So, like, do you guys think that, like, do you think this, like, I want to say fame, or do you think being in the public's eye has changed you at all?
I don't really think so. I feel like we're the same. We're the same 3 losers we've always been. Like, I don't know. We've just kind of always like not really been afraid to be ourselves. Like even when we're like performing or anything, we're usually like talking to us now isn't like any different than like talking to us like at a show or like if I was talking to someone at school. Like I feel like I'm always pretty much the same me. And I don't know. I try not to let it get to me because, you know, I don't really think I'm really much better than anyone else. I feel like if anything, I'm like either like the same or worse as like most other like performers.
I think
or,
we
like,
really just got like lucky, you know, that we're like
Lucky?
where we are.
Well,
I think it's definitely odd because I know there's like a couple other kids in our school that have tried to start bands or to, like do music, but because like I knew Jeremy and he helped us out, and we just had like all these connections beforehand, like Evan Pratt. It really helped boost us to where we could like get into
The music industry is all about like just making connections and like just making friends, dude.
I mean, that anybody listening,
Make friends. Dude.
these kids are still in high school and have figured that one out. And if you haven't figured it out yet, I don't know what you're doing. That seems to be a hot button issue constantly online, where people are just like, why does nobody come see my band and stuff? And it's like, because maybe you have to like network a little bit with other people, make friends, and then they'll go to the show or like go watch other bands. And like, I don't know. I don't want to say you guys got lucky. You guys had to put work in, right? So like there's a work and reward kind of sense to it. Plus, like, I don't necessarily think you guys did anything absolutely wild that any other, you know, quote unquote band could or could not have done. You know, they could have went out to a show and like watched another band play and introduced themselves. They could have went to a jam night and done the same thing, you know, but they didn't, you know, and that's something I think is, I don't know. I think that benefited you guys a lot, going to jam nights and kind of networking with people, whereas like other people don't. They just sit in a basement, you know, and then they're just like, how come I can't book a gig? And it's like, because nobody's ever seen you anywhere do anything.
Well, it also sucks that there's not really like the Barnum open mic got shut down. There's only like the third Thursday ones at the Eagles, and Pratt opened up the one at River Hops that we're helping with too.
Check that one out.
Yeah, check that one out. That one's awesome. I think it's the second Tuesday of
I
the
think
month.
so. Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. We had the first one a couple weeks back, and that one was fun.
You should be warned though, if you're going there to sing Limp Bizkit karaoke, he will not
Evan
let
Pratt will not let you.
No.
Why not? He said it was open
he
to
hates
everyone.
fun.
Oh, well, geez. Come on, Evan. What are we doing here? You said it was open to anyone.
And
to do anything.
We asked him, we're like, hey, can we sing Nookie? And he's like, no.
Well, I guess, yeah, well, now I had to think about it. Maybe River Hops isn't the crowd for Nookie by Limp Bizkit.
And then we did it at Bootleggers like a week later, and we were like, send this to Evan Pratt just to spite him.
And then Evan Pratt showed up.
He showed up afterwards, and we were like, oh, hi.
Oh, hey, funny seeing you
Seeing
here.
you here.
And everyone loved it.
Oh, of course they did. Yeah, that's another one where it's like, geez, cat. So like
I heard that one.
Nickelback is one that does not, you know, they don't get a lot of love until like now. Creed was another one. Limp Bizkit was another one. Like, you were a loser if you liked Limp Bizkit back in the day, but now it's just like Fred Durst just coming out with a cowboy hat and singing, you know, like rap metal. This is awesome, you know. But I don't know, and I don't know why people like Creed now. It's just
Yeah, I'm not a big Creed guy.
Like, I just like see it on my TikTok, and I'm like, this wasn't like a thing like a year ago. Why does everybody like Creed all of a
I don't
sudden?
know. That's probably why it is just on TikTok now. It's kind of funny. Do you guys like? I don't know. Have you ever like? You're pretty young, so like you probably haven't really like paid attention to that. But you guys are on social media more than I am, probably. So you probably know. But like, have there been any bands where you're just like, oh, I found this band on social media, or I found a thing online, or like, I was watching a YouTube video of Blink-182. This came to be
Thanks for coughing all over me.
yeah, the recommended next band or whatever. Do you need a water? Let me ask you that.
I think I'll be fine.
All right.
I think we should get some water.
I'm just trying to get Jones like sick.
He's just trying to get me sick. He's just
Yeah.
always.
We're always desperately trying to like kill Jones
We're
or
always
get him out of the
no.
band.
We're just always fighting each other. Like we're just in it for the money. Don't take that in the context.
I'm leaving it in. So like, you guys, have you found any bands like through social media, or like, you know, that you didn't think you would, like ones that your parents didn't listen to all the time, or you're like, oh, I found this band, but it's like actually a band your parents probably did listen to?
I think usually it's like my Apple Music will like recommend me like new bands and stuff, and I check them out all the time. I usually, like, I hate to say it, but I usually base it off like what album covers I find like really cool. Like, I'll see an album cover and I'm like, this is awesome. I
big
have to
one,
listen
yeah.
to this. And like what bands are that? Like, I don't know. It's happened a lot though with like, especially with like smaller bands that like not many people know, like Sunny Day Real Estate, or like
We found that one Save the Day album through being
Yeah.
cool, and we were just like, this album looks cool, and we listened to it, and I was like, I love this album.
I think it's also really cool finding like local bands from other areas on TikTok, because there's this one band called like Homestyle Dinner Rolls or something.
I don't even listen to their music. They're just so funny.
They're
They're
from-
such lovable people.
They're from like some
It's
other
Utah.
state, Utah.
Because then they're
And,
always in the comments. They're like, Utah, huh?
like, I'll see their videos and I'm like, these guys are pretty freaking cool.
I will have to say that's also like finding other bands that are funny online. There was a couple in Iowa that I remember watching. Like, one of them, they were just like oh, we're having a band practice, and it was always just like something funny is going on. They have costumes on, or like whatever, or like, you know, like one dude's eating a corn dog the whole time, like whatever it happened to be, or, you know, or just like bands that do stupid stuff just for the laughs online. Like, what was one? I saw somebody pour like 3 boxes of cereal into like one giant punch bowl and like 2 gallons of milk, and they were like eating it. Like, our next show coming up is this, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, it's like, you wasted so much cereal and you did it for like a 10-second video, but I'm like just perplexed by the, you know, the cereal choice or whatever, you know. So like just weird stuff like that. I always thought that was kind of fun. Do it. I don't care. Do it. But yeah, I don't know. There's just like a lot of stuff like that where it's like, this is actually pretty funny, and it's actually just, I'm more intrigued by like what they're going to post, you know, online. And then that just gives you some sort of notoriety, I think, just having that social media following, which we did discuss a little bit of that in a different podcast, actually. But yeah, you guys got interviewed recently by me at a different podcast.
Yeah,
Oh, that is
your other
true.
podcast, the other one.
Yeah, you guys sat down and talked to me for...
At our school.
I do remember that.
So check out the Spin Market
that was
Report
awesome.
if you guys want to see what these guys think about social media and websites. But
Oh, is that live? Is that like out?
it'll be out by the time this is out, yeah.
Okay.
You know, because this is coming out January 2nd. So 2025, starting the year out right with Love Bomb. It's pretty wild.
Best way to start.
I mean, it's also cool to know that, like, since I've done the podcast, like, I mean, you guys would have been like in diapers probably still when I started it, almost. Not quite, but like
A little later than that.
yeah. I mean, I probably would have still been in diapers at that age. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm still in diapers.
What are we talking about here?
talking about here,
Come
guys?
on. But yeah, so like I started the podcast a billion years ago, and you guys like maybe didn't even like play any instruments or anything like that. So that's pretty wild to think that like since then till now, you guys have like found out you liked music, started playing music, found a band, created a band, and now we're like all the way to playing live shows in the tune of like maybe even since the podcast stopped last. So what do you think about like music scenes? Have you played anywhere other than like the Fort Dodge-ish area? Because I mean, like, you play in Fort Dodge, it's like, yeah, you're pretty much hooked up to anywhere in Webster County, you know. But
I think the farthest we've gone is Rails in Eagle Grove.
oh, cool, yeah.
'Cause-
Nick Earhart was on the podcast recently.
Yeah,
talking about that.
Riddle of the Class was like, we play the same music as you guys. We need to get you guys out here to open a show, and it was great. We love those guys, and they work at 2 of them, Greg and
Jake.
Jake. I
yep.
feel bad for forgetting his name all the time.
Oh,
but,
jeez, that's fine.
no, they work at Raymond Music, and so we go in there all the time because I'll break a steak or I'll need a new cymbal or whatever, and we'll see them and we'll just catch up, and it's fun.
Oh yeah, their new place. What is it, out on the east side of Fort Dodge, kind of out by the bowling alley?
Yeah.
because they moved out there. That's pretty cool. I know when they moved out there, I don't know if they still have anything like that, but in the move they were like, we have too many of these, we're going to do a discount. So for a while they had like little discount racks there, kind of like stuff they had like found when they moved, and they were like, oh, we need to get rid of some of this stuff. So I do know for a fact that they are, you know, probably one of the places that's best at kind of helping out the local musician. Like if you're out playing
sure.
live and you're in there always buying guitar strings, like, or whatever it is, they might cut you a deal if you want to buy a guitar. It's like, yeah, I'll give you this for $20 less, or like whatever, you know, whatever it is. So like they're always one of the best at just kind of like helping hook people up or starting musicians. I spent a lot of time in Riemann when I was your guys' age.
We're in there like every week, especially we do bowling, so we go out there like Mondays and Fridays. So like sometimes we'll be like, we need new strings, let's just stop in Raymond real quick and let's just buy the strings before we go home. And
So you guys do bowling? Like, are you on a bowling team? Like, what
Yeah.
is this all about? Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Screw the music. All right. What's the bowling team called?
just the Dodgers.
It's just
it's
Fort
just like
Dodge
the
bowling team.
senior high bowling team.
You are on the senior high. You're all on the senior high bowling team.
Yep.
That's
all of
freaking
us.
awesome.
Yep. I did it since my freshman year, and so eventually I was just kind of sick of not having friends on it. So I was like, "Yep, you guys are joining." We had our main roadie Drew. He joined us too.
He didn't join.
And
Oh no,
bowling.
Drew
It
didn't
was
join.
Jaden.
It was Jaden, not Drew. But yeah, we had a whole bunch of our friends join. So there's like 5 or 6 of just all our buddies on the team, and so we just bowl every Monday and Friday, and sometimes we go in meets, and it's a lot of fun.
Out of the 3 of you, who's the best bowler?
Oh, yeah.
Trice.
Yeah.
Well, he's been playing for way longer, so
Yeah.
it's not fair. Like if I got that long, I'd be like 300s every game, but it's whatever.
yeah, no.
How about you guys? Who's the better bowler between you two?
I don't think.
Probably.
I think
Jones.
You're
maybe me.
By a little
I've gotten to go to more meets, but that's just because he didn't show up to the first couple practices.
Oh,
So like
jeez.
he couldn't. Like what a slacker. But
Gosh.
I think it was like the first practice. then all
And the
rest
second
of-
one, the 20th one. Whatever. The fourth one.
That's hilarious. I mean, that's probably one of the cooler things I think. You know, being from Fort Dodge, I think you guys have a little bit more exposure to some of this stuff. Like I was in Humboldt, so like, I mean, that's where I grew up and everything. So we didn't have a bowling team. You know, like we just had like the absolute basics of everything. And maybe there's one now. I don't know, but like. They did allow for like certain people to go to Fort Dodge and play certain sports if they wanted to try and do some like, you know, sporting that we didn't have in Humboldt. Like Fort Dodge sometimes would accommodate it. I knew there were people that went up there for swimming and things like that. So,
Do you guys have a tennis team?
I don't believe so. I know there's tennis courts up at the high school up there, but I don't think there's a tennis team. Which is also kind of weird. Like there should be one, but I don't know if there's a demand for it.
I thought my freshman year there was some kid from like Humboldt or Webster that had joined because I've been in tennis since my freshman year. So.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. So like, what kind of extracurriculars do you guys do other than? I mean, you could say school sports or like you know whatever you do as a hobby other than music. But I'm sure you're kind of like I was at your age. Like most of your free time's either spent goofing off or playing music. But you know, what do you guys do like? When you're not playing music, let me ask you that. I mean, obviously school, but
I think we all play a lot of video games. Yeah, he's really into the new.
I've been playing a lot of college football.
Yeah, the new college
I've been
football
playing-
game. I know me and Sam have been playing a little bit of Fortnite.
A little bit more than a little bit.
A little bit more than a little bit. And I don't know, like Persona and stuff.
We get into new games like every other week. Like
There's that
2
new
weeks ago, we would have been
Marvel
playing.
one.
Yeah, we were playing Marvel Rivals, and then we're playing new Call of Duty or whatever. It's like every month or something different.
all right. So we talking Xbox or PS5?
Xbox.
Yep, Xbox.
I had a PS4, and then one day I was like, I'm sick of having a PS4, guys. I'm like, we need to loan some money. I need to buy an Xbox Series X. And we got it. His great grandpa, like,
Great grandpa.
it's your grandpa. Oh,
It's just
I thought
Papa Tom.
Papa Tom.
He's not that old.
He's 76.
I'm almost 76, guys.
No, but we use his van to like take our stuff, so we talk to him a lot, and so they use the excuse that it was my birthday soon, they needed to loan out some money, but really it was just me loaning out money and me paying him back, just like through them. And so that day I went to GameStop and I was like, I'm buying a Series X.
That's wild. I was always a PlayStation guy. I just couldn't understand why anybody would ever choose an Xbox, but hey, whatever. I think some of that is also like, this is going to sound so weird. Like I had an original Xbox. I actually just sold it not too long ago. But
Should have sold it to us. He has one, but it's broken.
Yeah,
Oh,
crapped
bummer.
out on me.
Bummer. I was really good at top spin tennis. So if anybody wants to play some top spin on, the original Xbox, hit me up. But the original Xbox controllers, and you guys will not know this because it came out probably before you were born, but it was this giant hunk
Dukes?
of crap.
Oh, yep,
It was
the
the
Dukes.
it was the biggest,
It was-
worst controller that anyone has ever invented for anything. Maybe with the exception of, and I don't hate me, but the N64 controller, which
Isn't that the one that kind of looks like an M?
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, it has, like,
I
the
can't
middle
get behind
bit
that
there.
one. I can't.
So like the fun part about that one was playing games that used all of the stuff. So you'd have to use like the joystick with the D-pad as well, and the Z trigger, which was like behind the joystick. So like you have to like hold the thing in a way where
Hold
like
it in such a like peculiar
it was
way.
weird, yeah. But I mean, there were some wrestling games that used that, and like I remember some other games. But yeah, so I don't know. Video games were something I always used a lot of. There is an old dusty PlayStation 4 like over there somewhere. So it's literally has been unplugged, sitting on a shelf for like 5, 6, 7 years. I don't know. I think when I started playing music, I just ran out of time for video games. I don't know.
Yeah, recently we haven't been playing them as much. Like I've just been so busy. Like it's like after school, I either have bowling or I have speech or I have this or I have a gig that night. But I find the time. Like this morning before I came here, I played like 3 hours of college football.
Nice. That's crazy. Even after playing a gig last night, granted it was kind of an earlier gig, but
I woke up at 10. I took a shower. I hopped on college football.
that's awesome. That's crazy. I mean, it's funny though too. Like, do you guys ever like lose sight of the fact that like you're just like, okay, well I had a gig tonight and I had to do and I had to stay up late and to do this, and then you think like, well, all my friends are also that busy, but you like forget they're not.
Yeah.
Like, so like an example would be like, I played in Waterloo last night with The Rumors, which is like an amazing girl-fronted band with long-haired blonde drummer at the jam night sometimes.
Oh, yeah,
Clint. Yeah, I play in a band with him, and he plays in their band as well.
Dude, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's wild. So go see The Rumors. Three Finger Betty opened up for him. That was wild. You missed a cool show, but
Don't ever miss a Three Finger Betty show.
No. I mean, we were in Waterloo, Rumor's last show of the year. It was packed. But it makes me think, like, I always forget that, like, I drove home last night. I got home at like 2:30 because, I stayed a little late at the show or whatever. Wanted to catch most of the Rumors set before I took off or whatever. But do you guys ever forget that, where you're just like, oh, all my friends are like, they're probably exhausted today because they were out late last night and had to do all this stuff. And you're like, oh, no, nobody else is doing it.
Nobody else is doing this stuff.
Like, or is it weird to you that you're just like, I have a hobby that I actually have to like collect stuff and go to a place and do a thing, and like I said earlier, like you have to like be a businessman about this, where it's like I have to show up and I have an obligation now.
Mm-hmm. I think there's definitely a lot more to it than most people I think would think. Like, I know, like, we think about, we have to think about our shows a lot. Like, okay, we have this whole day, but I need to make sure I get, like, guitar strings for my guitars, and, like, just make sure we have everything, like, ready. Like, there's a lot of time that has to go into it, and a lot of times I just think, like, we forget that most people don't go through this. Like, it's not a thing that, like,
it should
everyone
become,
does.
like, a habit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's second nature once you do it, but, like, what were some of the things, let me ask you this, what were some of, like, the biggest snafus you've had, like, going to a show where you're just like, ah, crap, I forgot a power cable, or I forgot, like, has there ever been anything where you're just like, shit, I got to run back home for this?
I feel
Most
like
definitely.
when we went to that golf course, right? Because we played at a golf course before a golf tournament. We were on like a trailer and it had like floaties and stuff, and it was really cool. But I feel like we forgot something. I don't remember what we forgot, but we were
It was
lucky.
at like 8 in the morning. It might have been here. It might have been, was it Humboldt?
No, it wasn't Humboldt.
Was it Webster?
I don't remember where it was, but it was somewhere. But it was a big event. But I think we forgot like a power cable or something at the house. We weren't able to plug everything in. But we were lucky enough that my parents were coming out to it, and they hadn't left yet, so they were able to grab it and like bring it to us. But we've had some close calls, definitely.
Like last night, like so we took a break because it was a 3-hour show. So we took a break at 8:15, then we came back on at 8:30, and right before the break, my stick had broke. Like the last song, and I told our rodeo, I was like, I need you to go back to his house. I need you to grab just as many sticks as you can. I don't care what they look like. I don't care. Just grab them, and I'll find one that I like.
I definitely have to think that's like one of the things that younger people forget. Like I remember, Owen O'Brien, right?
Yeah.
So like Owen was like an Evan Pratt type person before Evan. Like he's a couple years older than Evan, whatever. So it's like these different younger people come into the scene or whatever. And I remember when Owen started playing shows live, it was just like, oh, forgot a bass cable, and it's like, you don't even have a cable to plug your guitar into. And well, luckily I've been through this enough where I have a bag where I have like 6 extra cables. So like I always bring like way too much stuff to shows because I'm worried about forgetting something. Like I can count on one hand the number of times I've broken a string in the last like 7 years, but I always bring 2 guitars. Like why? I don't know. Or it's like, why do you need? I have like 9 XLR cables. Like, oh, okay. So in case all of Jesse's guitar cables quit working, all of them, and 2 of mine don't work. Now we still have enough. And it's like, why would you need this many? I don't know. Like, but has there been, I don't know. What have you done to like mitigate this, to like plan ahead better? Or like, do you guys have like 2 sets of gear? Because I think that's one of the things a lot of people forget. Like sometimes you only have 1 set of gear, where it's like I have 1 PA, so I have to like go drag it all into a basement and set it up, and then we have to do rehearsals, and then we have to take it all apart and pack it all up and then bring it all outside again and take it to the show. Is that what your guys' setup is, I'm assuming?
Yeah, pretty much. We don't usually use our PAs when we practice. We just like don't hear each other like talk while we're playing. But the main thing is like the drum set and stuff, where we have to like every time we have to go somewhere, we have to take it all down. We put it in our drum bag so we don't like bang them up.
We put the cymbals in the cymbal case.
Yeah. And then we have to take them all out to his grandpa's van because we need like somewhere to put it all. So we have to stuff it all in there.
And me and him
take it
both have
wherever.
little cars that aren't going to fit like a whole drum set. So we're like, Papa Tom, let us.
Yeah. I will have to say, like, I wanted him to do this for a long time, but Clint, long blonde haired drummer, Clint Wheelman. So he for a long time had like a 5-tom double kick, 1 snare, 7 cymbal setup. Like, I mean, it's huge, and he would bring it everywhere. But he was putting it all in the back of a Camry.
How?
Like, exactly. And I was like, you need to time lapse this and send it to Toyota and see if they'll just like send you a new Camry or something, or like put you in a commercial or something. Like
That's got to be crazy. You said 7 cymbal, like 5-tom,
5-tom, double kick.
Like double bass drum, or just like
double bass drum.
What?
Two bass drums. Yep. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. I don't know how he would get it in there, but it was like, yeah, there's enough room to put it all in there and have a passenger in the car. which
What?
is it's like what do you do?
Like I would just put the bass drum in like the passenger seat and then put one in the back, and then I could maybe do it, but I don't keep my car clean enough to do that.
yeah.
He's got to be playing like a perfect game of Tetris in that car, dude.
Well, let me say this. Do you think like this is gonna sound weird? Do you think drummers are mentally different than the rest of the band?
Oh, 100%.
I have been saying this forever. I don't know if it's the same for you guys or if you've progressed enough, but like the drummers always seem to be different. I always think they're playing Tetris with music anyways. Like they're the ones that's just like, I have this much time, and if we split it in 4s, it goes like this, but if we split it in 8s, it goes like this, but if it's 16s, it goes like this, and then they just find the right 8s and 4s and 16s to slam in there in the right pattern to get to the next set of 4 to go again. It's like, this is how my brain thinks when I see fills, and it's like, what are you talking about? Like,
I just kind of do it. I don't think about it. I just kind of sit there and I'm like, I'm gonna play this, and
But
then
I-
I turn to play it.
I feel like he does that even like outside of like practice though. Like we'll like have a pizza and we'll be thinking about how we can like divide like in 8 slices between.
Yeah,
3
I'm
of
always
us.
trying to be
Like,
fair.
Like, all right, there's an extra
it's a
slice, so
problem.
we'll give it to the dog or something.
I've never said to give it to Rocco. That's not even true.
oh man, Rocco sounds awesome.
He is awesome.
He is.
He's a little French bulldog, and he like tweaks out whenever someone like comes up to the house. He's like,
He's kind of built too. He's really strong.
he's buff. He's a buff dog.
That's hilarious. so like, have your parents been receptive to this? Let me ask you that, because like, because let's just break it down to something simple. Every parent has this thing where it's like, is my kid going to be in band? And if they are, do I want somebody playing trumpet in my house, or do I want somebody like honking out the clarinet, trying to learn hot cross buns and just making it sound like crap? So like, go next level where it's like, okay, there's somebody in my house playing drums now, or like there's somebody in my house with a 100-watt amp that can go to 10 and they're cranking this thing up. Like,
Well, I'll say I don't have a drum set at home.
okay,
At either. Well, I technically have an electric drum set at my dad's house, but it's not really good, so I don't really use it.
yeah.
Don't tell him that.
Well, drum sets electric ones are finicky.
Well, some of them are cool. Like I've seen a lot of cool ones on TikTok, but they're also just like normal drum sets where it's like they're just so expensive getting good ones. So it's like okay. I'm also just like whenever I'm at home at night, then I'm usually just like gonna pass out. Like I'm usually tired.
Oh,
and if
yeah.
it's a weekend, then I'm just at his house.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, my house is kind of the hangout spot.
Just like the HQ.
So your parents are the most okay with the noise.
Yeah, it's really surprising actually. Like we're up in my room, and like when we're practicing, like you can't escape it. You can hear it anywhere in the house.
Like we're like right above the living room. Like his mom would be trying to watch a show and we'll be practicing. And she'll be like, God.
I'm pretty sure Travis next door said he can hear us when we
Oh
practice.
yeah.
Yep.
You know Travis, right?
From Bootleggers.
Yeah.
Travis? Oh yeah, I know
Yeah,
Travis.
he lives right next
He
door
lives
to me.
right
and
next
he
door.
says he can hear us
Travi.
practice.
Oh my gosh, let's make it weird. We all know
Yeah.
Travi. We all love Travi. Bootleggers legend for sure. What about you? Your parents hate it?
I'm not home much. I'm usually at Trice's, so I kind of just keep the guitars I'm not using there. And then sometimes they're like, well, where's Sam at? And I'm like, oh, I'm at Trice's. So aside from my little brother learning how to play the saxophone, they don't have to deal with a
Joe's
lot of
learning
loud
to play the
music.
saxophone.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's attempting to learn.
Attempting to learn.
Well, I don't know. Did you guys ever try to learn any instruments in band?
I used to play the saxophone
Oh, okay.
from 5th to like 7th grade, and then I quit. And I joined percussion my freshman year.
Oh, okay.
And now that like the whole percussion like knows I'm in a band, and like whenever there's a drum set part, they're like, "You're playing drum set." And I'm like, "Oh, fine. Maybe I want to play xylophone for this part."
Oh,
dude."
that's actually pretty funny because it's like, well, you're the guy that's good at that, so you're gonna have to do this. Like, well, what if I don't want to? Like, one of you guys could do it.
Right.
I don't know. You play anything like growing up or?
Yep. I started playing trombone for band in 5th grade, and I still do it to this day. I play trombone.
Nice.
Yep. I quit out for like a semester.
One trimester.
Yep, one trimester of the school. I was just like, I don't want to do it anymore, and I wasn't planning on joining back. But then I was like, you know what? I miss it too much. I want to go back and play more
Well,
trombone.
you missed jazz band. You
Yeah.
missed the guitar and jazz band.
Well,
You didn't miss trombone.
I miss playing guitar and jazz band too, but I like playing trombone.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, jazz band's like probably one of the funnest parts about being in band for sure. Also, you guys said trimesters.
Yep.
Disgusting. How long have you been doing? Have you guys just been doing trimesters ever since you remember? Or?
Middle school we did quarters,
Okay. So
but it's just basically semesters. Like It'd
Quarters
be
were
we
semesters.
get like quarter grades, but it's like also middle school grades don't really matter.
Yeah,
but
so it's like midterm of the semester grades. Basically.
yeah, it's just well, there would be midterms for the quarters, and it's like, dude, we were like 2 weeks into the quarter. Like, why are there already midterms?
Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. We did when I was in high school. They switched from semesters to trimesters and then back to semesters, and it just like jacked everything up. And I hated trimesters. So kudos to you guys, I guess. But
I bet semesters would be cool. I've never done semesters. I think trimesters are fine though. We're in the middle of our like second one, but it's just rough having like the second one like in the middle of like winter break is like
in the middle,
right in the middle.
Yeah, so you have to take some time off. Mm-hmm. What about you? Did you play any instruments growing up?
I think in 5th grade, I started playing percussion.
You think?
I don't think I did. But and then in 8th grade, for like a week or two, I wanted to switch to trombone, but the band director lady was like, "You were like the best percussionist. What are you doing? They don't know what they're doing. Get back there." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." And then I played percussion in high school up until last year. And then I quit at the same time Trice did. But I don't really want to go back because I think the band director has it out for me. If I walk in there, he'll chop off my head with a katana.
He has it out for you.
That's hilarious. When I was in high school, I guess I played trumpet 5th grade all the way through my senior year. And my whole deal with that was like, I went through periods of like not practicing and being like literally last chair, like the worst. And went through phases of like practicing a lot, being like second and third chair. So it's like I've been on like both extremes, and it really kind of depends. I mean, that's a testament to you have to kind of keep playing in order to know your instrument. Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys probably have figured that out. If you take some time off, eventually you're like, I don't really remember how to play this as well as I used to. But yeah, I don't know. Like instruments in school were kind of weird because like the teachers do kind of try and like shuffle you around. Like for a while, they're like, you might want to try, playing the tuba or something. It's like, I don't want to play the tuba. Like carry this thing around. Sousaphone, yeah, march around with this thing. No, I don't think so. I will carry a trumpet and I will be loud. Thank you.
The snare's awful to march in. Same with, I never had to march a bass drum, but I know you did.
It was horrible because you can't see your feet. So if you trip, you're just done.
Yeah,
that did happen once.
Or like dropping a stick. Like I dropped a couple sticks this year. This was my first year marching snare because last year I had to be like in the front line and do like xylophone. That was dumb. But this year I got to play snare and it was fun. But I just like I dropped my stick or something. And I'm like, I hate this. Yeah. But I do good and I'm like, I love this. This is amazing.
I always loved drumline stuff. It always kind of blew me away. Let me ask you this: the marching snare, the sound of the marching snare, like. I've always wanted to like just bring a whole marching snare in and use it in a drum set.
I've talked about it. I've talked about buying a marching snare.
Do it.
I want to buy a marching snare and I'll like keep like marching. I have my own marching sticks. I have a practice pad and everything.
Oh god.
I want to buy a marching snare. Like if my band director's because he wants to. We currently use 7, but he wants next year to use 6. If he sells it, I'll buy it. Oh, I don't care.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, because marching snares are like so big and deep compared to like a regular snare, and it just sounds like a gunshot. It's so crazy.
Especially if you like shot on it. Like I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah, do like a rim shot.
Yeah, rim shot. It's.
Yep. Oh gosh, that's crazy. I don't know. That was always something I always thought would be cool. So if you do that, let me know so I can live vicariously through you because it sounds very, very cool. But yeah, we're getting close. We got about an hour in here.
It's already an hour.
Yeah, we've got just over an hour recorded. It looks like. What do you guys have for goals for the band for the future, or like personal goals, either with your instrument or with each other, or just in general? Like maybe you're just like, I'm not going to play a band forever. I'm going to be an astrophysicist or something. Like I don't know. But like, what do you guys have for goals? Let's go down the list here and see what we got. What do you got for goals?
You see, I actually hate these two, so I'm going to quit right now.
Right now.
This
effective immediately.
No,
that has happened before actually. I recorded an episode with one guy, and it was like by the time the episode came out, he quit the band. So that was pretty fun.
What?
Yeah. It was like 2 weeks later. Like, okay. But anyways,
I'm
you're
hoping
quitting.
We can make it like as far as we can. I think going through college might be a bit rocky, but I'm hoping we can get as like far as we can with this band thing and just have a good time and be able to live happily doing what we like to do.
Yeah.
I think I definitely want to keep doing this when I'm older, like when I'm your age, obviously. I hate to be that guy, but like when I'm like a full grown adult and stuff, I still want to be doing it. But obviously I want to do it full time, but like realistically, like even if I have a job and I have enough time to like do it off to the side, and like that's fine. I still want but I think I'd still want like a music related job. Like I think I'd want to like work at Raymond Music or like work at some music store or something.
Okay, that makes sense.
I just think it's like really my passion, and it's really what I want to do.
So when you say music related job, so this is going to sound weird. Like sometimes when you get older, like I don't want to say like your things change or something like that. Could you imagine yourself being like, if you said music related job, like maybe giving lessons or maybe recording music or maybe being in the business end of music or something like? Is that still like music enough for you?
Possibly, yeah. Like being like producing and stuff.
Yeah, you never know.
That'd be cool.
I mean, because when I started playing music, it was like I kind of felt like you guys felt, where it's like there's people more talented than me. Let's talk about them more than we talk about us or whatever. You know, like they're cool. I'm cool too, but they're cooler. You know, or whatever. And so like I spent a lot of time where it's like I'm just gonna make music videos for people, or I'm gonna do a podcast, or I'm gonna do like other ancillary things that are kind of on the side that might not be exactly music related.
Well, I just think like you know Eric, my the drumline teacher always told me it's like however much time and effort you put into it, that's how much you're gonna get out. So I think
For sure.
If we just go, I think it's definitely partially a gamble, like just going all in with the band. But I think if we spent enough time and are good with it, I think we could definitely take it somewhere.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially because we start so young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you guys have a lot of years before you're even like, I don't know. It's not like you have a lot of years before you're out of high school, but I mean, before you're like, I don't want to say in the workforce either. Somewhere in the 20s, you know, like I always felt like the early 20s were about the time that people kind of start settling down. Yeah, just kind of figuring stuff out. Like just like you said, post-college age, you know, like Sam was saying. So how about you? What kind of goals do you have for yourself, for the band, for anything?
Well, for the band, my biggest goal is to like write music so that we have like some music that we can put our name on, you know, like to like go on the radio or to like sell some CDs at our shows or whatever it is. That's my biggest short-term goal for the band right now, is just to like just have something to call our own, some music that we made. Like, this is a Love Bomb song. We're gonna play a Love Bomb song for you, you know.
And just feel good about it.
Yeah, just like have a song that's ours, or just have a few songs that are ours, or whatever. And then in terms of goals for myself, I don't know. Like, I really want to be like a music producer in the future, like going and like recording music for artists or whatever it is. That's my biggest dream right now. And I've talked to like colleges and stuff, and of course I think Love Bomb would be the biggest thing I'd want to do in my future as like a career. But like, you know, you never know. Like, you can't like put all your eggs in that basket, because you know if that basket falls over, you have no eggs. So it's like,
yeah, true.
You know.
That's very true. I mean, you guys are all, you know, like you guys seem very. It's funny because you guys are like obviously young, so I feel like a lot of that rambunctious teenage energy from, you know, my younger years in you guys. But you guys also seem to have like your heads a little bit straighter maybe than I did at your age, which is kind of nice, you know, where it's like you understand what this is and like, you know, what it could be, but you also understand that like, you know, life happens and things change. Because just think about how much things have changed for you in the last 2 years, and just imagine 2 more years, maybe different opportunities will present themselves, you know. And if you guys all keep playing music, like this is just in theory, because like my high school band, I've tried to toss it around a couple times where it's like, what if we get back together for like a class reunion or something like that, you know, because we don't play anymore. Like everyone kind of quit playing music, but you know, a few of us still do. So it's like, well, maybe we can get us all together and we can get everybody practiced up and play a set at a bar here in town for whatever, you know. And you know, there's always going to be opportunities for like, even if you guys do like go to different colleges and can't play shows all the time or whatever, like you can always like come back together for, you know, the holidays and play shows, or you can come back, you know, and like pick one weekend a month where you can get together and play a show or something. There's always ways to kind of keep it going, because I don't know, like the ultimate goal of this, I think a lot of you guys said it, was like just to have fun. Like this is supposed to be fun, and I don't know. Are you guys having fun?
yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also think like building off of what you were saying, like we're like right now, like he's a grade above us, so he's a senior. So he's like we're trying to plan like going somewhere together if we can. Like we all like. He was talking about going to Full Sail in Florida for a little bit, because that's like
Cool.
a big producing place,
yeah.
and they had like called him, and we had talked about it, and it was like, do we really want to go all the way to Florida? Like that'd just be such like a big jump, you know.
I know a guy who went there.
Really?
Yeah, I'll hook it up.
I have to sneeze. But
Bless you.
like we're also, it's like right there.
Yeah, ruined
We're like now we're talking about like we really want to go to like Iowa State or something, like somewhere like we just want to go somewhere together that will be like beneficial for all of us, especially because like Ames is such a good college town and like
It's
there's
not
just
too
so
far
many-
away from home, and
yeah, it's the closest like university that's like to Fort Dodge. So I just think that like
Ever thought about Iowa Central?
well, I think we're gonna go there for like a year or two and like get all of our like required classes done, and then we can like hopefully go to Iowa State or something.
Yeah, I'd definitely recommend the Iowa Central route. God, college is just so freaking expensive. This isn't the economics hour on Audible Farm or anything, but yeah, that's probably like the safest choice for sure is to go to a community college, especially if you guys don't quite know like what all you want to do. You go to Iowa Central, it's like, well, I'm going to take a business class and a psych class and an accounting class and a blah blah blah, and we'll take an English class and a bio class, and you start taking all this stuff and you're like, I don't know, biology's kind of interesting, and then all of a sudden you find yourself and you're like, yeah, I'm a biologist now, or like that's kind of how that works when you get to college, and I don't know. I took just gen ed classes until I was like, all right, I took an accounting class, I guess I'm pretty good at this, and I just like, I guess I'm getting an accounting degree now, so I have an accounting degree, but I don't know. I also like. It just makes me smile to know that you guys are doing what you're doing, and it allows a lot of us, I think not just myself, but a lot of the people in the Fort Dodge music scene to just be like, because I mean, like, you gotta think, Ober was doing the same thing you guys were doing. You're your age, there's a lot of us that were doing what you guys were doing when we were your age, and it's just like, wow, these guys are doing it. They're doing the thing we were doing, and like possibly doing it better than we were doing it. I can say that for myself, but maybe not for everyone else. But it's just really cool to know that you guys are out there doing what you're doing and having fun doing it. So I don't have any other questions left. We've gone over an hour. Is there anything else you guys would like to say on the podcast? At the end of this, I do say, like, all your social media links will be in the description, all the ones I can find, everything I can muster up. So if you guys want to, follow them all and everything like that. But what do you guys got anything you want to say on the way out here?
what do you guys have to say? What do you have to say, Sam? You haven't really said much.
You haven't said much.
I think one thing I've learned from all this is if you want to do something or you think something's cool, just go do it. Like, there's nothing stopping you, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and you can be like us, and it can just work, and it'll be, like, fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I think that's how we're supposed to end the podcast, because that's perfect. Like, you're gonna if you go out and run one lap around a track, you've lapped everyone that sat on the couch. So
Yeah.
if you want to do something, just all you have to do is literally go do it. That's perfect. Great way to end it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Love Bomb. It's been fun having you guys here. Thank you very much. I can't wait to catch your next show. Facebook, Instagram, things like that. That's the best places to find you guys' next show. Do you guys have TikTok?
We kind of do,
We
but
don't
we don't
really
really post on it. No.
I do too, and I don't use it either. So I'm old though, so I have an excuse. What's your guys' excuse?
We're lazy.
All right.
We're
Okay.
lazy and well, there's some bands on TikTok, and it's like we don't want to be those bands that are like, I'm the drummer, and it's like I do this, and it's like I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to make stuff that people don't like.
Yeah.
So we just kind of like beat around the bush.
Oh gosh, yeah. TikTok is notorious for that. Where like one person had a good idea, and then 60,000 people took it and ran with it for about a month straight, and then you're just tired
And then
of
it's
seeing
just
it.
awful.
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing this. Like the person running, it's like suspect has blah blah something. It's like I don't want to see any more of these
I don't wanna
videos.
see any more of this.
Oh my gosh. But I'm also getting old, so that's also funny to know that like I see stuff on social media. I'm like, this is stupid. And I'm like, wait a second. You're just like,
I sound like my dad.
yeah, don't be an old person. Just like, here we go. All right. I do sound like my dad. It's funny. You're going to turn into your parents. I'll tell you that. Have fun with that. But anyways, yeah, Love Bomb. Great band. It's awesome to have you. I'm so glad you guys are out there playing music. You're in the Fort Dodge area. If anybody wants to book them, hit them up online. It's going to be tons of fun. You guys always have a crowd come watch you. So thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
There it is. It's episode 233, and we ended it on a gem. From the mouth of babes, some of the most impactful things you can hear right there at the very end. If you want to go do something, just go do it. That's what it's all about right there. You got to go out and do the stuff you want to do, because before we all remember being their age and wanting to do stuff, and now we're my age, and it's like, should have done the thing, so just go out and do it. Even if you're my age, go out and do it. What's the harm? What's gonna hurt? Nothing. That's what's gonna hurt. So it's gonna be fun. What a great episode. It's great learning about them. go down below, check out their social medias, give them a follow, give them a share. If you want to book a fun band for a show, check these guys out. If you're looking for somebody to open up for you, perfect band. They're, I mean, if you're anywhere between the ages of like 30 and 50, you're gonna love the music these guys are playing, and it's right in the wheelhouse of everybody that we know. Like, we all grew up listening to this stuff, and they're out there just doing it justice, having a blast while doing it. It's so fun to watch them because they make some of the songs their own in such a fun way. So it's really enjoyable to watch them go out there and just have a good time. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Having a good time. So be sure you check out Love Bomb live somewhere. Make sure you check out their social medias to find out where they're going to be next. They got all sorts of fun stuff in the books and stuff they're working on. So totally worth checking that out. And thanks to Love Bomb for coming on and joining me on the podcast. Hopefully we can have him back on here after too long and see what's going on again. Because, yeah, hilarious. Just straight up got roasted most of the podcast. I tried to stay out ahead of it a few times and still just got roasted. So kudos to those guys. Love it. Love Bomb. I need to get me some Love Bomb merch somewhere so I can wear it everywhere, because I did not get one of their shirts, and I'm bummed. So I think they may still have a couple left. Hit them up for a shirt if it's in your size, and snag one of those babies. So yeah, all right. Audible Farm is back. Check out their website. It's audiblefarm.com. And all sorts of good stuff. The Patreon is still there. $1 a month. You can watch the video versions of the podcast one day early, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Still no bonus content on there yet, but there is some stuff on the shop. I believe there are t-shirts back in the shop, the classics, etc. There are hoodies available. I do have some. I have, again, not taken an inventory of them, because, like, the thing I don't want to do is like get all the hoodies out, because they're in a giant box, and then by the time you get them all out and lay them all down, you have every chair and, you know, couch and tabletop and coffee table and anything you have like covered with hoodies, and I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel. I'm just lazy, I guess. That's what it is. But yeah, there are t-shirts and stickers in the shop. Otherwise, hit me up in person if you see me out and about at a show. Come to a live show. Say, hey, I'm coming to your show. Bring me a shirt. I know you still have a couple left, and we'll try and coordinate something, because that's what we got. What's on the shop is what we got for shirts. There's not many left in many sizes, but I think there's a size for everyone on there, though. Just about every size is represented, just maybe not in the style you want. So check it out. Check out that shop. Check out the Patreon. Again, $1 a month. Otherwise, check out audiblefarm.com for all the Audible Farm stuff. Thank you to everybody for subscribing, liking, and sharing. I do believe we are still increasing the numbers on YouTube, so thank you very much for all of that. I do appreciate it, and that is it. All right, I'm out of here this week. Thanks, Love Bomb. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association. Check out FDT. I believe it comes out tomorrow. Tomorrow? Yeah, I think tomorrow is when the episode comes out. You can listen to it right here or go to their YouTube channel. There's a link for that down below somewhere for Fort Dodge Fine Arts info. So check that out. Peace, everybody.